All right, well, we did it, gang. We have officially hit the 5K mark here on YouTube. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. And there's some more fun things to talk about on the other side of the intro. So let's get into it. Take 91. What's good, peacemakers? Welcome back to another episode of the Piece4PeaceCrafting Podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my crafty corner of the YouTube universe. If you would like to find me on other social medias, you can do so by following me over on Instagram and Threads as Piece4PeaceCrafting, or over on Ravelry as Piece4PeaceCraft. And if you like music and you would like to follow along to the playlist that goes with this silly little podcast, you can do so by following me over on Spotify at Piece4PeaceCrafting Podcast playlist. If you have trouble finding that playlist, which sometimes people do, you can shoot me a DM over on Instagram. Not here in the YouTube comments, over on Instagram. It's safer for me to send you the link in a DM versus putting it out in public here on YouTube. With that being said, hello everyone. How are you all doing? It has been 2 weeks. And I should have recorded this over the weekend, but my weekend was very busy. And so Monday it is. We're slotting in some time to make sure that I can get an episode recorded because remember, I didn't want to fall behind again. And honestly, the last video, while I recorded it on a Sunday, the technology in my life didn't want me to be great. So it came out on a Monday. So technically this is still 2 weeks. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all well, or as well as you can be at this time. Like I said in the intro, thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. We hit 5,000 subscribers. It's teetering because, you know, sometimes people subscribe, they unsubscribe, but we're like a couple people over now. So like, that's really dope. And that's very exciting. So yeah, it's fun to celebrate those little milestones. I know some of you are like, I don't understand why you don't have much more than that. Friend, I don't understand either, but you know, here we are, and we're gonna make it do what it do. So with that, there are a couple things that I wanna talk about right off the bat. Because we hit this milestone, 2 things. In the next episode, I'm gonna do a little pass along some yarn to you all. A friend, do you guys remember, for those of you who have been around for a minute, my friend's friend who gave me, oh, you guys, I'm also using the natural light today, so I'm sorry if it like is doing weird things. It's very bright in my apartment right now, and there's like an undershadow. I feel like I'm a witch standing over a cauldron, giving that undershadow. Anyway, my friend's friend who like gave us a bunch of yarn at one point, and I maybe made something with it. I don't remember now. Anyway, she wanted to donate some stuff to the podcast. She was like, I'm doing a destash again. I need to get rid of stuff. I have way too much stuff. Well, I didn't even see all of it, but I saw a lot of things, and I was like, I love that for you. We don't judge people's stashes over here. So I have some things that I just want to sort through, and then I will pass along to you lovely people. In addition to that, today is the 9th of September. So on Sunday, the 15th, because we've hit this milestone and because I've had a couple people ask, but my life has been busy and so I haven't been able to do it, we are going to do another Zoom knit I want to say afternoon, but like it really depends on where you are in the world. We're going to do another Zoom hangout. So in the description below, there will be a little link for you to fill out your email and your name, and you can just like put that information in. I don't do a newsletter or anything, so I'm just collecting all of the emails just so I can send you all the link to the Zoom room. I'm going to do it on Sunday, the 15th at 11 Central Time. So that means it'll be 12 on the East Coast and 9 on the West Coast here in the States. I hope you can join. Yeah, we'll hang out for like an hour or two, sit, chit chat, bring your craft of choice, and yeah, let's just hang out together. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I'm, the couple that I did, I really enjoyed it. And so this will be a nice way to just get back into it. Especially since for some people, again, depending on where you are in the world, like the season's properly changing. Here in Chicago, we had our fake fall for 2 days where it was like 50 in the evening, like, overnight or whatever, and it was only getting up to like 70 during the day. And like she was cute. It was fun. But now like third summer's back, which I don't mind. We've been through this before. So I am just going to enjoy whatever is coming at me. But for those of you who the weather is changing, this might be fun to start that like settling in, cozying down vibe and just hanging out for a little bit. I know some people are already decorating for Halloween. They're getting very into spooky season, which I think is so funny. I think all of us, having lived through the pandemic, I remember like that, not so much the first year, but maybe definitely 2021, how people were just like, we're not doing anything. I'm just going to set up stuff so early to just like bring myself joy, because there was a little bit of a lack of joy. Or just, it was not a lack of joy, hard to find joy, I'll say. And so I think that that's cute that that's sort of carried over. Like, it's September and people are putting out pumpkins, and I'm just like, I love that for you. Yeah, I think that's it. You all, things have been very busy, very hectic around here, which is both good and bad. I've been doing some crafting in between all of the craziness. Yeah, like this weekend, I really wanted to get a podcast out, but my weekend was pretty packed. Also, if you all can hear noise, because it's so hot, I have my windows open. There's cicadas going. There's people going in and out of the building. It's like a lot going on around these parts. So if you can hear that, I apologize. I will try to fix it in post. We'll see. Yeah, things have been really crazy around here. Been trying to do some things, like aside from crafting, that are bringing me joy. What have I been doing? Like, I have a membership I bought a while ago, actually. I think right before I moved, I got a membership to like AMC, the movie theater. Because I'm one of those people who I'm like, oh, I would love to go and see that movie, and then like I just never do it. And a friend of mine has a different theater's subscription, and so she's always talking about the movies that she's going to see. And finally one night I just decided to buckle down and just like get this membership. It's not very much, and it allows me to see like up to 3 movies a week. Now granted, there's not even 3 movies that I want to see in a week. So I think the last time I podcasted, I talked about going to see Inside Out 2. I don't remember now. Anyway, I saw Inside Out 2. It's great. So late to the party. But I've seen Dee Dee, which I think is a smaller film, which was really cute, coming of age story about a Taiwanese American kid. And I saw Blink Twice, which was a suspense movie. If you're into suspense, there's some trigger warnings to that film that I think you can read about prior to going to see it, but it was very good. It was Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut. And I saw something else. What was the other? Oh, you guys, I went to go see that Brandy movie. What is it called? The Front Room or something. We just gonna pretend like I didn't watch that. It was so chaotic. So I've been doing that, trying to bike over to the movie theater because there's one not far from me. So that's been really nice. And also this weekend, I went with some friends. We went to an amusement park here that's only like an hour away from Chicago. So yeah, they do this event every year called Out in the Park. And so me and some friends went, and it's only open. I think they sell like maybe 5,000 tickets to the theme park, and it's open from like 8 until midnight. And yeah, we just like rode roller coasters all night, and it was awesome. Yeah, because there's so few people, like one of them, and I love when this happens. It just, it depends on the timing and who's where in the park or whatever. But anyway, we rode one of my favorite rides, and there weren't people in line, like in all of the slots. Once we got back into, like, at the starting gate, and so we were just like, oh, can we go again? And so we got off and just like moved to another car or like seat, rode it again, came back, no people in line still, so we got off, went to another seat, got to ride. So we rode it 3 times in a row without like having to get out and do the whole walk through the line again. It was just really amazing. That's always a fun event. It's like the only time I get to go to that theme park now, because to be quite honest, I'm not paying to stand in line for 2.5 hours to ride roller coasters anymore. I would much rather go and knock everything out in 4 hours, with way fewer people, and yeah, I get to ride the rides a bunch of times. So that's sort of what I've been up to. All right, cool. I have 2 FOs, one of which I'm going to pop in a picture for, and then 2, actually it's like 2.5 FOs, and then 2 things that I'm actually working on. And then I have some things that are going to be in my queue that are next up that I'll talk about, and a little music rec, and I think we're good to go. We'll just bang this out really quick. So I'll have a sip of water. Let's get into it. The first thing that I finished, and I will pop a picture in here, is I needed curtains for my kitchen. I have a little window in my kitchen, and in the evenings, the lights would be on, and I would go to walk Kendrick. Oh, put a pin in that. A lot of you have been asking how the pups is doing, and I keep forgetting this episode is all over the place. I keep forgetting to say that he is doing great. He had a little bit of trouble, obviously, with the move in the beginning, like leaving our space and being in a new space, and there are boxes everywhere, and just being in an unfamiliar place, and then like me like having to go to work, and so him just being here alone or whatever. So now that things are, every day, every week, a little bit more gets done around here. I know you guys are like, how long is it going to take you to move into this place? It takes forever. There's little things that go everywhere, and it's making me crazy. But he's doing well. He like hangs out in the bedroom, in his bed most of the time, on my bed now, that I've learned. When I come home and he's not right by the door, I hear him jump off of my bed. He's being sneaky and comes to greet me or whatever. So yeah, he's doing great. He like knows the neighborhood now, so like is excited about going on our walks and things, like knows, how like dogs will sort of lead you back if you have a dog, or you have watched a dog. They'll like sort of lead you back once you're getting closer to the house. Anyway, he's starting to do that, which is really nice. And yeah, he's doing well. So thank you all for asking. I will show him, not in this episode, at some point, just because I know you guys love seeing him. He's passed out right now, so I'm definitely not going to bother him. So going back, I needed curtains. I'll show again for my kitchen. And when we would go on walks, I would come back and the light would be on, and you could just like see directly into the kitchen, and it was making me feel uncomfortable. Like I'm a couple floors up. If I'm standing there cooking, like I could see out onto like the little porch that's back there. It just like wasn't the vibe. So I had this fabric that I didn't really know what I was going to do with, and I was sort of putting my plants around and was enjoying the greenery that was in the kitchen. And these had Monstera leaves on them, and I thought it'd be great. It was about a yard and a half of fabric. And so I just took a little bit of time one day and cut it in half, sewed all of the sides So folded them in and did like a 1/2 inch seam on all of them, and then just measured how low I wanted them to hang on my door. And so then I just folded it over and did about a 3-inch little, what is that called? Little pocket for the rod to go through, and then just hung them up, and it's been the best thing ever. Like now, if I'm in the kitchen, I don't feel awkward, or when we're coming in and I have the lights on, like you can't see in anymore. So that's been really dope. Love that little project. I have cut out the pattern for a pair of pants I want to make, so I'm hoping to get to that sometime soon, because I would like to sit down and start doing that soon. I actually have 2 things of fabric already washed, like pre-washed and ready to go. So I have some like lightweight corduroy that I want to make pants out of, and I have a pair of lightweight denim as well. So fingers crossed that those will get, at least one of them will get sewn up soon. And yeah, that's that on the sewing front. On to the sort of half done thing. Oh, one of them fell. You all, some of you may remember this. I don't even remember the color or like what the makeup was, because in the move, I don't know where the little tag went, but I know that this was some fiber that I'd spun up from, oh my gosh, the name is escaping me, from Fiberpunk. And it's a gradient, and so I'd split it in half and spun it like when I was back in my old apartment, and then it just sat for like months. And so a couple days ago, I decided to just do a chain ply on it so that I could keep the colors sort of together, hoping to like make a pair of socks out of them once I was done. And you all, the first bobbin that I spun up and did the chain ply, like I put it on my Lazy Kate, I had the tension thing on it. Oh, not me kicking the thing. My goodness. Sorry about that, everyone. I was like, wow, I don't remember chain plying being this sort of annoying. Or just like it wasn't for me. And so then I went onto TikTok, which is like, I know there's YouTube University, but TikTok needs a school, like equivalent. It's like the Cliff's Notes. I know we don't use Cliff Notes, Spark Notes, whatever the kids are using these days. So I went onto TikTok and saw the way that some people were doing their chain plies, and I was like, oh, okay. So I took the tension thing off, or the tension band off, and I just, whatever, angled it in a different way, and it was way better. So the second one, I enjoyed much better chain plying. Now, the hot water has been off in my apartment for the past 2 days, which sucked. But some things are getting fixed in my building. And so I haven't been able to wash this. And I know some people might be like, oh, well, you could just, just soak it in cold water. But that is not my vibe. I like to soak my fiber that I've spun up in like as hot as my tap will get. I think I've talked about this on here before. But as hot as my tap will get, and some wool wash, and I just soak them in that until the water is like cool again. And I've been finding that is giving me just like a nicer product in the end. So this is my half finished thing. Like I'd spun this. I just need to like hank it up or skein it up. No, hank it up. Whatever. I need to wind it off of this and wash it, which hopefully tomorrow night I will have hot water again and be able to do that. So this is my half thing. And my other finished object is I did not block these. But that's okay. I finished my socks from Woolens and Nosh. Let me see if I can change. That's better. Perfect. My socks from Woolens and Nosh. This is I think these were May. They were. The May Club colorway. They remind me of some kind of bird, maybe a house finch colorway. Yeah, I love these. So my socks, which we will talk about again because I have some socks that I'm working on right now, are done toe up. I do them 2 at a time using a Turkish cast on, 14 stitches, and then I increase to 68. I knit till about 7 3/4 of an inch. Place my marker so I know where my heel is going to go, and then continue until about the same length going up. For these, I think I did 12 rows of a 1x1 twisted rib or half twisted rib, depending on who you're talking to, and then cut in my heel for these. This is on Michelle's, is it 9010 Targi nylon, I'm pretty sure, base. Yeah, they're beautiful. I love the colors. It's very chill. It's very chill. Good times. More socks to the collection. Someone in the comments asked like, oh, how many pairs of socks did you have to move with? You must have like a ton. And it's true, I do. I knit a lot of socks. Because they are, sorry, I'm just like trying to futz with the color. They are a very easy project for me to carry around while I commute. And so it's always nice to have something in, you know, in my bag or something while I'm going around. That being said, let's talk about some whips. So I'm gonna continue on with socks. These are the June colorway, which I don't think I showed last time. So here's what it looks like all caked up. This is called Daisy Chain, I'm pretty sure. And I started these on my commute, like to and from work, just like around the city. Taking public transportation. And then, you guys, when I went to the amusement park, I was like, oh, I wonder if they'll let me in with like knitting needles, you know, because like it could be weird. And so in my little crossbody bag, fanny packs for those of us who are a little bit older, in my crossbody bag, I just like, I had a bunch of stuff that I needed for the park that one needs. It's like a little purse for me. And I had my little sock bag and I rolled it up and I put it in there and like went through no problems, completely shook. So the entire time that aside from being on the rides, the entire time that we were walking around the park, I just like was knitting on my sock, like walking around, standing in line. It was awesome. I got so much done on them. So, and it was really cute because like people I would notice would be watching me while I was in line. And I was like, okay, that's kind of fun. And then a few people were like stopped me and were like, oh my gosh, I love that you're doing that. Like, that's so cool. You really are like using your time wisely while you're here. And I'm like, if I have to stand and wait in a couple lines, even if it's for 20 minutes, like I could be talking to my friends and I could be knitting. Like, why not? So here's what that's looking like knit up. Y'all, I'm loving this. So this is the June colorway. This is Daisy Chain. The mini that it came with was this blue, and I just think the colors are awesome. I'm obsessed. Yeah, I really like these. So I got far enough while we were at the park that because like I didn't have my ruler with me, so I went past where my heel needs to go. So like honestly, with just a little bit more, these are gonna, not a little bit, but like with a few more days, these will be done. Excuse me, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, you know, this club is so fun because the colors every month, I'm just like, oh, this is just so cool. This is so nice. I think Michelle and the team over at Woolens and Nosh really knocks it out of the park every single time. And so yeah, I'm happy to be a part of that club. I know she posts every now and then, like there's spots available. So if you are ever interested in wanting to join, I would just make sure that I'm following Woolens and Nosh and keep an eye out. I think on Instagram, you can even set like alerts or whatever, like for when people post. I only know that because I have it set for one artist because I need to know when she posts things. So I'm pretty sure that you can do that for whoever you want. And then whenever there's new spots available, you can jump on them. Again, 2 at a time, toe up, 14 stitches, Turkish cast on, knitting, or increase to 68 stitches. I do them on a US 1, so 2.25. Good times. These are living in one of my mini beautiful sister bags. 1 second while I put these back in there. This little mushroom bag. And so, yeah, so like I was saying, all I did was just like fold it like a little taco, and it fit right in my little Herschel crossbody bag with like my wallet, my phone, keys, some hand sanitizer, some lozenges because I knew I was going to be screaming so much on the roller coasters. Yeah, and I just, I put it, I'd wear it. Actually, no, they don't let you wear them on the rides. So I wore it like it was a fanny pack walking around, because then I could pull the yarn up from the front instead of having to, finagle it if it was across. So that was good times. All right, next up, and the only other thing that I'm working on is, sorry, pardon, I'm gonna reach past you all and almost knock things over, is I've been working on my Gib 2 sweater. So this is a sweater by Andrea Mowry, and it is a textured, which you can kind of see there, a textured sweater with a beautiful cable raglan. This is the I think there's there's a Gib, and then there's the Gib 2, which the Gib 2 is the more broader fit of the sweater. And I'm doing the size 4, so that is, will be 46.5 is the finished chest measurement. And I'm knitting it out of my fun mystery wool that I got. Let me the lighting. What is happening here? Let's try to do that. Does that help? It doesn't. This fun dark navy blue that I got at Rhinebeck last year from some farm. I'm hoping that they're there this year so that I can get more of this because I'm really enjoying working with it. I also made my bolt sweater using this yarn, but this is the worsted weight version of that. Actually, I need to cake up another one because I didn't get as much as I wanted to get done, but I mean, it's fine. Things happen. I have separated for sleeves. So I'm about 2 inches past the sleeve. And yeah, here you can see that beautiful, I'm so sorry with the lighting. I should have just brought my lights out, but I'm like, oh, the lighting in here is gorgeous right now. So it has this beautiful raglan or cable going down the raglan, and it has this all over texture to it. Like I said before, it is primarily a purled sweater, which I didn't realize when I purchased the pattern, but whatever. I knit continental, so I don't mind all the purling. And honestly, because you're doing more purling than knitting, for me at least, I just get into a rhythm, like 1, 2, 3, switch it up. 1, 2, 3, switch up, and it's fine. And now that I'm not doing the cabling anymore, and it's just going in the round because I've made it to the body of the sweater, it's very easy to just keep it pushing and keep it moving. One thing that I did do, which I haven't done in the past, is normally when I get to the point where I'm going to separate for sleeves, I will use, just like a piece of scrap yarn, or I have those, like that pony lacing that folks are using, cut down in a couple. I usually, just go and I'll slide that through. I'll put it on the end of my needle and then slide off those stitches, and then place them on hold until I'm ready to come back and pick those up to do the sleeves. Usually I do what I do now. I just knit until the ball's done, and then I'll go back and I'll knit my sleeves. Well, this time I, didn't know where those things were because it wasn't in something that was like out. I did end up finding where they were though. But I had another cord, and so I thought, what if I just take this long-ish cord and put a 1 size down needle on it, since all I'm doing is slipping those stitches, and I just pick up the stitches and place them on this extra cord and have them hang out until I'm done with the body. And then when I'm done with the ball of yarn that I was working with, all I had to do was put the needles on to the other cord, and then I could just do the sleeves. So that's literally what I did. This cord's black, so it's going to be hard to see. But I had this cord that I was working with and just kept going, and then I just fed another cord through both so that I could do my sleeves 2 at a time. So now that ball that I was working with is done, all I have to do is, I have to cake up another ball, and then I'm ready to go to start my sleeves 2 at a time, which I'm very excited about. If you are interested in doing your sleeves 2 at a time, I do have, which is so silly to say, I do have a little tutorial on how I pick up for my sleeves to do them 2 at a time. I can link that below for you all, if that's something that you're interested in. I know folks have asked me to show how I start my 2 at a time socks, and once I feel a little more settled into the space that I've moved in, I can definitely try to put something together for you all too. Yeah, for sure. So that's that. Those are the only 2 things that I'm working on right now. I have, you all, I know, I know that MCAL season is just around the corner, and I've been talking with friends and asking if they're gonna do it, and I really don't know because last year I bought a kit and then I never even ended up doing it, which I will do at some point because one, I do like the shawl from last year. This is the Stephen West MCAL. And I do like the kit that I bought from Les Garçons. So like I need to make that happen. And so I'm thinking about possibly doing this year's. I just don't know yet. Anyway, I was talking to a friend on Instagram and he was like, are you doing it this year? And I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know. I was really like put off from twists and turns and I haven't really recovered from it. He's like, I know. I pulled out mine and like finished it and like it made me feel good about it. And I'm like, oh, I should do that. So I'm hoping over the next 2 weeks that you all don't hold me to it. Actually, maybe hold me to it. I want to dig that out. I know where the project bag is. I want to dig that out. I was really loving the colors. And I want to get that done. 1, so that I freeze up that cable. And 2, so that this yarn that's been sitting in a bag for 2 years can like finally have life. Because I do wear my shawls a lot in the winter, and I did want that at one point, and it just was overwhelming. It was too much. So hopefully I'm going to get back into that. I did get the newest month of the Woolens and Nosh Club. This one is August, and it's called Afternoon Delight. So I did get that in the mail. So that's really exciting. I'm going to add this to the stash behind me since I'm doing June. Oh, I'm doing June. And those are almost done. I still need to do July. Not that I have to do them in order before I can do August. So this hopefully will get caked up soon, especially since I'm halfway done with those other socks. And then I'm going to start working on these 2 spins now that is the fiber that I showed is going to be off the bobbin soon. So I'm going to, both of these are from 316 Dye Studio. So I'm going to do this fiber that my friend bought, which is the Merino Alpaca Camel Silk. So it's 20. This 4 ounces I want to spin up for her. And then I'm also going to try to tackle, it's so bright, try to tackle this sock set that's just 100% Corriedale. Yeah, these are 2 things that I would really like to get done too in the next 2 weeks. But I know like that's asking a lot. Like I want to sew a pair of pants, I want to finish a pair of socks, I want to work on my sweater more, I want to do some spinning, I want to do all of the things. Also too, you guys, I need to start looking at some kid/baby patterns. I've already started with one of my friends who also needs to make something for a small human. We have friends that are going to be having kids, and so we both want to be making something, so I need to get on that as well because those babies are going to be here before we know it. So there's a lot happening in my little craft corner, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I love feeling busy and inspired to want to make all of the things, and so Yeah, that brings me joy, makes me happy. All right, the last thing I'm gonna do before I get out of here is I have a music recommendation. Oh my gosh, do I remember all of the songs? Let me see if there's a track list on the actual thing, because there's not. Oh wait, huzzah, that is. Okay, cool. All right, so the album that I'm going to recommend to you all for this episode is Flying Lotus, and this is the You're Dead album. I don't think that I've shown this one on here before, or at least when I went back into the playlist, I didn't see any of this music on there, so I thought, oh, maybe I will just recommend this. So I love Flying Lotus. It's like a mixture of like jazz and like hip hop and sort of experimental sometimes. You know, a lot of the times there are guest singers that are on it, and some of it is just instrumental music. Anyway, I think that this album is really good. The inside cover art is wild. Like, what actually is going on in there? It's crazy. So I think that this album is great. So the songs that I will recommend, like, there was a boob. I'm sorry to anyone who's offended by that if you saw it. So I'm going to recommend Ready or Not. Is one of the songs. Oh, it's because they're printed on both. So Ready or Not. And what's the other song I had in my head? Oh, Never Catch Me and Dead Man's Tetris. So Never Catch Me, Dead Man's Tetris, and Ready or Not. I will add those to the playlist. Yeah, you all should go check out this album. It's a lot of fun. It's good background music. Flying Lotus, You're Dead. Good times. Maybe you are some friends of the pod might be Adult Swim viewers. And Flying Lotus did a lot of that like interlude music that was on Adult Swim in the evening, between like the cartoons and the anime and stuff. Anyway, he's great. Check him out. All right, friends. So that's all I have for this episode. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. Again, everything that I've talked about is going to be linked down below. If you are interested in coming to the Zoom Hangout next Sunday, please feel free to fill out that form that's going to be down below, the little Google form that's down below, and then I will send out I'll close it like Saturday night at like midnight. So that's the 14th at like midnight, I guess, my time, so Central Time. And then I'll send out an email to everyone either then or early for me in the morning on Sunday with the Zoom link so that we can all hang out for a couple hours and craft together, build community. Other than that, yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful 2 weeks and you get to make and create all the wonderful things that you want to make and create. And if something's not bringing you joy, put it away, even if it's for 2 years, and pull something else out that makes you smile. So with that being said, I will check you all again soon in 2 weeks. And until then, make a peace, spread some peace. Peace.